The House of Hot Topics is in session with Whoopi, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain. Now, let's get things started.
Joining us as guest co-host today, please welcome former Secretary of State and former National Security Advisor, Dr. Condoleezza Rice. So let's get into it, because yesterday, White House Communications Director Hope Hicks announced she's resigning the day after telling the White House Intel Committee that she's, maybe told some white lies on behalf of the White House resident. Officials claim that she's been planning to leave for quite some time, and it begs the question, what do you think?
Well, what's the white lie? You look thin in that tie? what kind of... I don't get that.
Well, first of all, I have no idea. But has your assistant ever said, oh, she's tied up? And you really weren't?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I
I've
don't really know what happened here. But look, it's hard for any president to lose somebody who's really close to him. And I think particularly in the case of this president, he didn't come in with a staff that really knew a lot about politics. If you think about being governor of Texas,
Right.
you've had people around you for a long time who helped you
Right.
in politics. If you were senator from Illinois, like President Obama, you've had a Senate staff that helped you. He came in with nobody. And so...
Omarosa, don't forget Omarosa.
Well, yes. but it's a little bit different being on the Apprentice and being in the White House. And so I think it's hard.
Isn't that the problem, Dr. Rice? Because you have Hope Hicks, who was very close to him, but she was 29 years old, absolutely no political experience. I mean, during, the Bush administration, you have people like Nicole Wallace.
Right.
She knows communication. She knows politics. And President Trump said he was going to surround himself with the best people, but he's surrounding himself with people with no experience. Does that make sense?
Gone now, all those
A lot of
people.
the people that came in with him, look, the president's going to be most comfortable with somebody that he trusts. Because it's now, whoever is in that White House, it's a hard job, right? And it's a lonely job. And I'm also not surprised. Yeah, it really is. So I'm not surprised that you've got people, from the family and so forth and so on. Look, I always thought that it was good if your first job in government wasn't president of the United States.
Yes.
But that's where we are. And so...
That's hilarious. First job.
But it's where we are, and it's not surprising to me that, therefore, this is an unconventional White House staff.
Well, it is that. It is that. Now, with Hope gone from the administration, he's losing another member of his inner circle at the White House. And I guess the question is, we've actually already answered this, but how important is it for him to have his peeps in there?
Well, I think loyalists are really important. And again, if you have loyalists in politics, people that are truly your ride or die, that no matter what are going to go down with you or up with you no matter what. And as the candidate that didn't come from politics, it was strange that, his communications director, I think, worked on Ivanka's fashion blog beforehand. But by all reports, she has glowing accolades from everyone from General Kelly to the president himself, very close with Ivanka. I was shocked at this news yesterday. I thought she would be one of the people turning the lights out whenever it is that he leaves in 3 years or 8. And I will say that the White House is plagued with these communications and narrative problems. And I do think maybe if you're General Kelly sitting there and you're just like, the Rob Porter scandal, her saying white lies, which, as you pointed out, Joy, I don't really know what that means. And all communications director, but all communications directors spin. And spinning on some level is can be interpreted as lying or at least pushing the truth in a way that you want. And this White House seems completely incapable of controlling their narrative. So maybe it's not such a bad thing.
Can I take up the point of loyalty for a second?
Yes.
Because, I mean, he lies. He lies all the time. Everybody knows it. And then his loyalists double down on the lies. I don't think that that's a good thing for them to do. But that's because they're being loyal to the liar.
But I will say that there is a difference between.
I have to say this. Harry Truman said, if you want loyalty in Washington, get a dog. Because it's a very tough town, and don't underestimate how important it is for the president to have people around him with whom he feels comfortable. But to Cindy's point, I think they've just had a lot of trouble. I'm sorry, Megan.
Cindy was here yesterday.
Cindy was here yesterday. I know her mom very well, so I apologize for that. But Megan, I think, to Megan's point, I think the big issue is that they're having trouble with messaging.
Yes.
They're having trouble with messaging because discipline in messaging is really important. And it's frankly hard when the president is his own messenger.
Well, but how about this? How about
tweeting? That makes it exceedingly hard.
If the messenger doesn't know jack about the job.
That seems to be the case.
Because the message comes from the top.
I get a lot of schadenfreude because during the election, people like, I mean, I would never compare myself to you, but people who have had any experience in politics or on campaigns were really vilified. We're the swamp creatures, drain it. They're all awful. Do you know what swamp creatures do? They like the swamp. They're good at knowing how to manipulate it and work in it. Maybe if you had a few swamp creatures working in your White House, you wouldn't have so many people jumping ship heading back to New York City.
And also, you know, there's nothing wrong with being a swamp creature because you know how to get it. You know how to get around. You know, but when you have somebody who can't give you the message because he doesn't know how the message comes out. I mean, he led a televised bipartisan meeting yesterday with lawmakers about guns in America, where he seemed to be open to a lot of interesting gun reform, and he even accused Republican Senator Toomey of being afraid of the NRA. Now, he says he wants to make some changes, but somehow he's not aware, he wasn't aware that this gun discussion has been going on for quite some time.
Well, but he was part of the gun discussion, and if I remember correctly, in 2000, he was in favor of an assault a weapon on assault, a ban on assault weapons. And so I wonder, who are we seeing now? Are we seeing the real Donald Trump?
No, we're seeing the same guy we've been seeing the whole time.
But
sometimes he's over here, sometimes he's over here, sometimes he's over here.
It doesn't mean
it's like Bugs Bunny. Have you ever seen the Bugs Bunny cartoon where Bugs plays all, you know, he's the batter and then he's the catcher, and that's him.
But that's the thing, is the NRA going to turn on him?
I'm going to tell you something. One thing that people kind of like is that it's not a canned message all the time. I think that's one of the things that people got tired of in Washington. And so people change their minds. And if we get a change on gun control, that's not a bad thing.
I totally agree with what you're saying, that his message has this populist resonance because it's so real. I will say, when you have people like Laura Ingraham today talking about, don't even worry about 2020, if you turn on Second Amendment, people like myself and the NRA, I was watching it yesterday, like you, Sonny, and I was like, I guess he is the leftist gun grabber that I always assumed he was, sitting in Midtown Manhattan. Because some of the things, but it's bizarre to me that he has he spoke at the NRA convention. He has huge NRA support across the country.
$30 million
and all of a sudden,
from them.
He's lecturing Pat Toomey on being afraid of the NRA. Give me a break.
But this is who he's been this. He's been this the entire time. You can't. He will say one thing and then he will go and do something totally different. This is who he's never changed up the fact. And I get that people like that, but what I don't understand is when you are in the midst of serious business. This is serious business. This is not like a tiptoe. This is the President of the United States has a tough job in the world. It is a tough job because you're trying to balance all of this stuff. And if we can't trust you to make a decision that whether we like the decision or not, that we don't have to go to bed and think, oh my God, what is it going to be tomorrow? I don't want to do that for the next time. No.
My final note.
Wait.
Sorry.
We're coming back to gun control, right?
We'll see what happens.
All right.
We'll be right back with more.
still ahead. Politically correct? How Meghan's mom, Cindy McCain's appearance on yesterday's show caused a bipartisan revolution on social media. Tomorrow on The View, the heat is on. Because the topics will be extra hot when Anna Navarro co-hosts. Then get ready to cool things down, because we're jamming with Jimmy Buffett.
TGIF.